Yeah.
with Peggy Carter. What was her real first name?
Um,
They said
Amanda. I don't know.
is it?
No, I don't think it's Amanda. I don't know why I said that. Margaret.
They,
It's Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Margaret Peggy Carter.
Yeah. Yeah. They called her Peggy for a different reason, though. So.
I wanna.
I'm gonna pretend like you heard that.
Margaret Elizabeth Carter.
Yeah. So they got Peggy out of nowhere. I wonder why.
Maybe because she likes
There you go.
in,
All right, hello and welcome to the Irresponsible Comic Book Podcast. Woo! We're here to talk about the What If episode that just came out the other night. How you guys doing, by the way? Let us know in the comment section how you're doing, how you're feeling, how you thought about that joke. We're here to talk about the What If episode 1, which is Captain America, the first Avenger, but a little bit different. So the What If series is a series that combines all the Marvel stories that have been told in the movies, but told slightly differently from the viewpoint of the Watcher. And he's a guy voiced by some really handsome man. Has a very deep, nice voice. And he tells us these stories out of the kindness of his heart about different realities that he's able to view. He's like, I mean, Stan Lee was also one of the Watchers, but he's like this supreme Watcher who has now viewed multiple different realities, and he's telling us the stories of them in hopes that we like them. I guess I don't really know if he has a purpose in telling us these other than to make money. I don't know, make extra revenue from toys now from the Marvel line. I don't know. Anyways, he has some sort of plan for telling us these, I guess. But he's telling us these because they're good stories. And so this one is about Captain America and the events that happened in Captain America, the First Avenger, which we're about to do a How Bad Was It episode on later this week on. And so we're very up to date with that first movie and how this story kind of parallels it and how it changes it. So in the What If episode, it all proceeds the same way up until the moment that Steve and Peggy look at each other, and she's told that she can't be on the floor as he's getting, this experiment done to him to give him superpowers, to inject the super soldier serum.
No, I will be on the floor.
And so then they look at each other and they have this moment where it's like, hey, you're going to be up here, don't worry. And that's the moment that changes everything, weirdly enough.
It's small enough, but it does change.
Yeah, exactly. And so
maybe
everything...
it's where that guy was gonna. I think it does actually displace where he was gonna stand.
Yeah, it does.
I think he was standing where Haley Atwell / Peggy Carter was standing.
Yep.
So then in the What If series, he's off to the side.
Off to the side and has a better angle to attack.
Yeah,
exactly. And she's also, I think, the bombs in place are those aren't in Captain America, are they?
They are, but he waits
till after to set them off. She sees them, doesn't she? She sees him from up top.
Lighter.
Yeah, she sees him in the show fiddling with his lighter, but she sees him up top and points him out as a weird sus dude, right?
No, I don't think anybody points him out until after he grabs the serum and runs off.
Oh, maybe it just is the displacement of where he's standing then. I guess you're right.
I think it's just the displacement of where he's standing is like the difference.
Yeah. He just has a different... He doesn't have a clean angle to just go swipe the serum, so he has to use violence.
Then he has to, like where if he was standing where Peggy was standing, he could have just ran and grabbed a serum and ran off like he did.
Because he has an easy exit.
Yeah.
Whereas this case he doesn't. He knows it, so he sets off the bombs first. Yeah.
Mm.
So, anyways, that's the biggest difference is that she's down there on the floor where he's getting the serum. It changes where this other guy, who is a Hydra agent, gets to stand, and he ends up setting the whole place ablaze before attempting to steal the serum. And Steve hops out of the
Because he's Steve.
because he's Steve. He can do this all day. He jumps out in attempt to prevent him from stealing the serum, which it's like, not the end of the world, but he gets shot twice and gets knocked to the ground because of that. Because he took some bullets, and he's not Captain America at this point, so he's a little Steve boy, and so he gets taken down, and the guy steals the serum and tries to run off, but Peggy is down on the floor, so she gets up and she shoots him, and he dies, and so she inserts the serum back in. She tries to get Steve up, and he's like, I can't get in, and so that she ends up getting in instead, and the government officer guy's like, no, you can't do this, like this is and
So he was
Howard
supposed to be Tommy Lee Jones' character.
yeah, exactly. And so he tries to say, hey, you can't get in there, like this is the American project for Super Soldier, and she's a girl, and
Her being a
from
woman.
England. It's more so that she's a female, that he doesn't want her in there because she can't be a soldier. And so she hops in anyways, and Howard turns it on and gives her the super strength serum, and she becomes Captain Britain from that point on.
Well, she comes out of the machine looking all hulked out too. Not really hulked out, but
she
turns into a big lady.
Yeah.
And Steve's like, oh my loins.
Oh, he's ready for it. He's
very into it.
He's down for it. He's down to be.
He was as thirsty
Peggy.
as everybody when Resident Evil: The Village came out.
Yes. He was ready to get Peggied. Oh man. Anyways, so she comes out. She's super huge, and then you cut to them in a PT.
Character instead of who he is.
Yeah. Oh man. But anyways,
You don't necessarily have to be cis character to enjoy that, but he's just like a little small guy.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
It's just funny.
He's a hot lady, and he's
down. He's down for that big lady.
Girls have always been taller than him.
Now she's just so much bigger.
Yeah.
And he's just looking for the right dance partner.
Yeah, he is. So we cut to them in the PT facility where Steve's doing his first bout of physical therapy, learning how to walk again. Then Peggy goes and has all these conversations with the general and Howard about the plans for what's going down, and she says that she can't do anything. She has to stay undercover. She's just a spy, and she ends up putting on this flamboyant suit that Howard gives her, and the shield that's not the Captain America shield, but modded to have the Britain flag on there instead. And so she goes out and takes out some Nazis.
Well, that was
Hydra
actually
agents.
a pretty funny scene too, because
Oh yeah.
here's your uniform, and she's like, normally you're supposed to be a little bit more covert about this.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, this is going to be awkward, and he just throws the
And
shield on
shoves the shield on top of it, and she just smiles, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I thought you wanted a covert, and then she just totally scraps that idea after she gets the shield. Yeah. So, because it's trying to remember the events as they happen in Captain America. That's because the shield Steve picks out is after the serum, right?
Uh-huh.
So he doesn't see that at all until after.
No,
So,
because what is it? He's saying that he needs
something lightweight that he can throw.
Well, not that he can throw. It's just he needed something lightweight so he could
Continue running.
I don't know. I can't remember the whole scene exactly, but he said he needed something to help him fight better.
Yep. Because everything else was too heavy.
And he wanted to hold I think it was after the Cardor scene,
Yeah.
and he said he liked the way that the like holding a shield felt, but he needed something better.
Mm-hmm.
And then so
Yep.
he was like, "Well, I got a couple of these prototypes here," and he like showed like the riot shield that had like
That's right.
the bomb like
Yep.
rocket launcher on it essentially.
Yep.
And then he was like, they're all fine." And then he like sees the vibranium
Sees the
shield
one
on the table.
underneath the table, and he picks it out, and he goes, "What's this?" And then, yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't get that, but we get a version where Howard just slams it on the table, like, "Here you go. I figured you'd like this one." So it's kind of crazy that, he just decided that that's what was needed. But
Yeah,
I
I mean, I think that's more because they had time limit restraints.
Yeah, because in the movie, he was super hesitant to give it to him. He's like, "Well, I mean, it's just a prototype,
Yeah.
So,
well, and then it was all the vibranium that they had currently had.
Oh yeah, that's you. This is all we have.
Relationships with Wakanda at the time, so they didn't have this source of vibranium.
They didn't even know Wakanda existed at that time. Yeah. So but yeah, so she gets her shield. She goes out. She takes out some Hydra agents or some Nazis, either way, and she just shits on him.
She just like, oh, I wonder if I can just tank this truck that's moving at me at like 40 miles an hour, and then she just boom up and over.
Yeah.
Like,
I just think as somebody who's like been in training and.
But we don't even ever see Steve Rogers do that either. So like it's like because she's already a trained like soldier, like.
Well, she also runs into it fearlessly. She just like sends it because I think she knows her body and its limits, even though she's just been buffed, like literally and physically.
Like she's, idea of, like what she's capable of.
Yeah, she knows what she's able to actually do, in her limits before even having to actually test them out. I guess she also.
I think that's the parallel because Steve was always like hesitant on what he could do because he was such a small guy.
Yeah.
He never really took the big chance until he really figured out what he was able to do.
Yeah.
He's always so like in the movies and stuff. He's more keen to like having sit down and talk dilemma.
Yeah.
And then if that breaks down, he's like, okay, I'll use my muscles.
Yeah. Like he even tries to talk to Red Skull.
Like the small guy kind of thing where he wants to de-escalate things as much as possible if he can.
Yeah.
And then if that breaks down, then he's willing to take a punch. But Haley Atwell or like Peggy Carter, she's like
goes.
Like her personality though is just like, I gotta get this shit done.
Yep.
So she's like, and we know what the serum does. It makes you like it increases what is already in there. So she's a good person, but she just has more of the I gotta get this shit done mentality. Like even turned up to 11.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why they. I mean, I guess they kind of followed the events in the same, speed and same time frame. It's just that you don't get a lot of the.
Though, because like she, instead of using the train to stop Amenzola and get Armanzola, they got him earlier.
Way earlier, actually. You're right. Yeah, but they still do. They still don't like attack.
So they get the Tesseract from him instead of getting it from Armanzola on the train.
Yep.
Or no, they get it from him on the plane, right?
Yeah.
They get the Tesseract from the plane, but then it falls through.
Yeah, well, yeah, they ultimately don't get the Tesseract until after. Yeah.
Which then that gives Howard Stark the ability to make his own Iron Man suit because he uses the Tesseract as the power source.
Yeah, well, they kind of need it. What's crazy is Howard had the Tesseract at the end of Captain America: The First Avenger, but he never chooses to make a suit. But because they're no longer need it because the war is basically over. The war is over. It's because they've waited so long. And they also, when Steve got the serum, he was on tours for a year, just being a showman, basically, and a pawn for the government propaganda. And so all this stuff happens way earlier. They still get like the train scene in there, which is, I think, only
Well, Peggy
included there
never
for
even goes on the USO's tour like she was supposed to.
yeah.
She just goes,
She
"I'm
just
going to
goes
become
straight into
Captain
battle.
Britain." Yeah.
So that's good to know. And then because
I think because she started so much earlier, she was able to get the Tesseract so much earlier.
yeah, they were able to
That's
get it.
why they ended up making the Hydra Smasher as a weapon.
Yep. Because
So-
there was still a war
Mhm.
and there was a need for that sort of weapon.
So it's kind of an interesting like parallel though, like Tony Stark's dad would have made an Iron Man suit if
If
he
he
had
had
the,
the extra elements to do it,
like the Tesseract essentially,
pretty much.
which was kind of cool because it's like that the fact that it's like sorry sneeze
Bless you.
sorry sneeze
Bless you.
but like Tony, his first thought of I'm in a bad dire situation. I'm going to build a suit of armor and put it around me and use this chest piece power that I have that can like power a suit and then use it to break out.
Yep.
That's his first thought on what he's going to do.
100%.
What is it? He gets the ability to basically do the same thing. I'm going to make a suit. It's going to be a tank that Steve Rogers can like run around in.
Yep.
Like
it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Then we have like the little bit of scenes of like Steve and Peggy like, you know, falling in love, and Peggy going, "You're my hero, Steve," and she's like, "I mean, you're a hero,
You're a
Steve."
hero. And then she's like, "No, you're my hero too."
Yeah. And then they get ready to kiss, and then
It's like, "There's a
Howard,
Jeep."
he's like, "Hey, Bucky's got a Jeep. Let's go."
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here? No,
Wait
wait.
a minute. Let me
Continue.
watch.
I'm not here.
Pretend I'm not here. Oh yeah, that's a funny scene. Howard's just a little watcher himself. He's not the watcher, but he is a watcher.
Well, it's funny because like once like after that, so they go and they make their plans to attack the castle.
Yeah. Well, they make the plans to attack the train first, and
Oh,
the
yeah,
train
that's
is to stop. They say
Yeah.
that Red Skull is supposed to be on the train rather than, you know.
Solo.
Yeah, and so they attack the train to try and stop Red Skull out the gate, but instead he's not on it. It's a decoy train, and they lose Steve. He falls in the same way that Bucky would have. And a lot of people that I've seen over the last few days talking about it have said that they wished he was the new Winter Soldier, and they had turned him into that rather than, you know, left him. But also...
Yeah, because like, my first initial thought when I watched it last night was that the Red Skull was talking about how he was going to get his champion, and then after he blew up the train and like grabbed Steve, I was like, "Oh, Steve's going to be his champion."
Yeah.
Like that was my first thought. Instead, he used the Tesseract to open up a portal to some kind of squid tentacle planet.
Well, yeah, either that or it's... What's the villain for Doctor Strange? That's what I was initially thinking.
Eugolith?
Yeah, what's the name of it?
The one that we're supposed to get for
Shumagorath.
Shingorath, yeah.
Shumagorath, yeah. I just thought, I was like...
Because he does have, like, tentacles.
Yeah.
Or he does have, like, calamari tentacles or whatever.
Yeah.
Octopus tentacles.
Yep.
I guess it could be him. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally was like, oh my god, they're gonna do that right here? Shumagorath, what if? Is that him? Who was that giant tentacle monster? Marvel fans are wondering if Captain Carter fought Shumagorath.
It could have been.
Yeah.
But
I feel
like
she defeated him way too easy to be him, though. But
well, it took her 70 years.
no. It didn't, because time and space are different.
No, I know, but like...
But, yeah. I get what you mean. She probably didn't fight it for that long. It was
No, but she did push him back, and then she used her sword and shield because she's British.
Yeah.
Of course she has to have a sword and shield. You know.
Yeah.
Harken back to old knights.
Exactly.
But the fact that the Red Skull just got crushed, where he was technically a super soldier as well, like, but like
he was just unsuspecting though. Like he didn't see it coming, I guess.
yeah, I don't know.
Or
But
like she was ready to fight. I don't know.
she also got like wrapped up in his tentacles the same way.
Yeah, she had a sword.
Yeah.
He didn't have a sword. That's why he lost. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's not a good
But
explanation.
he comes in with the Hydra Buster to save her.
Yep.
After they use some form of reactor to power the suit.
Yep. They just use electricity basically.
A lot of it.
Look like it. Yeah. Like the whole. Yeah. They used a generator from the whole building power to just shove it in there. Basically.
He comes in, the suit starts losing all power really fast.
Yeah, after like a couple of fights or a couple interactions fighting, he is out of juice, and so she has to use her shield to push Shumagora, the river monster.
Like my first thought though was going to be that Steve is still going to make the sacrifice play.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
They're going to take the Hydra Buster and then use it through the portal.
Yeah.
And then it's going to leave Peggy Carter
again waiting for him.
Again.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was what's going to happen.
Yeah, I thought that would be what would happen too, because Steve is the guy that does that. But I don't think that it mattered who it was. I think they could have interchanged it either way, and it would have worked still for the story. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up before we end this episode is that, do we know for sure that these episodes don't build off each other in the same reality, or are they all from different realities?
I don't think we know.
Yeah.
But I think they're all from different realities, just from like the intro that they showed.
Yeah.
Like they had like the stained glass pieces coming up and flying around.
Yeah.
And then like we went into the Peggy Carter one, and then there was even more branched off of that.
Yep.
So I think at the start of each episode, whatever one we like go through is whatever episode we're going to be on.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that I'm not sure, but I think the next episode is the Yondu and.
I have a list here. Let me pull it up.
Oh, you have the list?
Yeah, I do. I found a photo of it and I screenshotted it. So, nice. Episode 1 is the Captain Carter. Episode 2 is T'Challa Star-Lord.
So that's what I thought.
Yep, you're right. And then 3 is Loki Invasion.
Interesting.
Ooh, yeah. So, yeah. But I would assume that they don't build off each other.
I don't think they will.
At all. But it would, I don't know. I feel like if they did it somehow to like just build this, that they'd end up building a whole branch. Yeah, they'd build like a whole branch out all the way, and they just like fill it out with all these different characters in different places. So it's like a completely different set of reality with a ton of changes, not just one. Where it would be its own team of Avengers that we would see down the road, maybe. But I don't know.
The last What If episode was all the characters that we had saw previously were fighting in New York.
Well, this is what's great about it, is that episode 9, after all these, so 1 is Captain Carter, 2 is T'Challa Star-Lord, 3 is Loki Invasion, so like a different version of New York, where he rules, and then 4 is Doctor Strange, Supreme Sorcerer, but like the bad version as well.
Okay.
Then episode 5 is Party Thor, and then 6 is Killmonger and Tony, which like the reason I'm thinking about it is like if T'Challa is Star-Lord and then there's no king there, that becomes Killmonger and he grows up, and Tony is still doing his own thing for you know, whatever. Like it builds off of the Captain Carter story as well, where you know Howard grows up and they're still in the weapons industry and Tony's still there.
The first like couple minutes of that one,
the
trailer,
and grabs it and throws it. Yeah.
T'Challa, like, or not T'Challa, Killmonger, like where Tony's about to get exploded by his own bomb.
Yeah. goes and shoots
Killmonger
it.
just comes up and he like grabs it and he just like hucks it into the sky.
Yeah, because
Like,
he has the powers of the Black Panther at this point, probably.
maybe.
I guess you could do that as a human.
Yeah.
With, like the ease of him just grabbing it and just tossing it, just
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that if they built off each other, like some of these characters are so like Killmonger and T'Challa are so close, and that like Howard Stark and Tony, like that, like maybe these changes that are big in terms of like Captain America and Peggy Carter's whip chain, that like everything else is still constant enough that, like, you know, Howard would still build a suit, you know, Tony down the road is still going to be the same essentially, that like they could build all these up. Episode 8, so the 7th episode is zombies, so that was the only one that I think wouldn't build off it, because
that one is referring to the Marvel Zombie series.
Yeah,
like,
and it shows
popular.
Yeah, it shows Steve as Captain America but a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the one where it's like, that's the one hole that I'm like, that one couldn't fit with everything else, because Steve is Captain America here and he's a zombie. So, but then, you know, if we just disregard that fact and somehow they make it work, episode 8 is Tony and Sakaar. So
which one is Sakaar?
Sakaar is I'm sorry, Sakaar is the, I can't remember which planet it is.
Is it the severed head? Or no, Sakaar is
the wherever they do the battles, whatever.
Planet Hulk.
Yeah, Planet Hulk. So the trash planet with. So, anyways, he's there, but ultimately, episode 9 is. So he's there instead of the Hulk.
Thor.
Or Thor. Yeah, he's there instead of Thor or Hulk, but episode 9 is Ultron, Vision, Infinity Stones, and Guardians of the Multiverse.
Ooh.
Is what it's titled. So
that's episode 9?
Yeah, so I'm like, what if this is all tying together, and like maybe certain heroes are being pulled by this what if guy, like Captain Carter, and maybe even, the Hydra Crusher or whatever, like Steve, that version of Steve, and then like T'Challa as Star-Lord, Loki after the invasion, and he's the ruler. They pulled Doctor Strange, Thor, Killmonger, and then a couple different versions of Tony, maybe, to defeat an Ultron that was successful in planting his body in Vision.
I wonder
if he gets the Infinity Stones. Like,
they're probably all connected at the end on that last episode, but I think all the timelines are different.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Could potentially be the same. Would be that Tony Killmonger, Tony Sakaar.
Yeah.
To where like we could have that same Tony Stark that was in the Killmonger one, then also get transported to Sakaar. That's how he makes his Iron Man suit. Instead,
he makes
trying to figure out how to get home.
Yeah, he makes like the Thor Buster or something like that,
or something,
or something that like is specifically designed to beat androids. I don't know, but like. I just can see like the titles of the episodes, especially episode 9, like tying just the words "Guardians of the Multiverse" makes me go, "Fuck, dude, that's gotta be some bigger Avengers tie-in to all of it, even if it's just animated and even if it only stays in this animated universe in the What If series." Like, they're a team from like these different. They're plucking different people from different storylines. And this Watcher guy is assembling them. I don't know.
Maybe.
I would like
to see. Is
it
only 9 episodes?
It's only 9, yep.
Okay, so it was going to be 10 episodes, but they
cut the Spider-Man. Yeah. So.
Shame.
Yeah, they're just like too. I mean, they're just too connected. In the changes, it just. I'm on to something, okay?
Yeah.
When episode 9 has all these characters together, you have Captain Carter fighting with a a zombie Steve. I'm just kidding. Not the zombie Steve. It would be Bucky. But
It's going to be whoever the final person that is not a zombie, because there's always one person that's not a zombie until like the final check.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they teased that it's supposed to be Bucky. It looks like, but
is it?
At least it seems like the only clips they've shown from the zombies episode are Steve and Bucky in the train. So I don't know, or maybe it's somebody else, and so whoever that is, they pull.
Well, we'll see.
Anyways, that's a good theory, but I think that's where we should cut it off so that we don't get too off the rails anymore. Thank you guys for listening to the episode. Let us know what you think about that theory and what you thought about the first episode of What If from Marvel. We'll be reviewing the rest of these episodes as they come out as well over the next 8 or 9 weeks or whatever. So definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see the rest of those in the series. And we also are doing a How Bad Was It series right now, where we're going and rewatching all the Marvel films in the MCU week by week, and doing a review and judging how good or bad we thought the movie was, based on our perspective now after seeing all of them, and just how well they hold up as a film in general. So definitely go watch those videos. We'll have links to those series down in the description, as well as a link to all our socials that are up there, for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. So go follow us on those for updates, and we will see you guys in the next episode of What If, or in one of the other videos. Bye, guys.
Bye.